Welcome everyone to Everyone's a Little Queer this week. Currently queer episode
15.
15.
1-5.
1-5. Episode 15, we're going to jump right in and I'm going to start this week.
We are doing things that are gay.
All right, so let's start with
Currently queer news.
Currently queer news. Last week we talked about Juniper Blessing.
Juniper Blessing.
Talked about
Her life was a blessing.
Yes, talked about them, who they were. We're going to follow up this week with 22-year-old Murray Faust, F-O-U-S-T, a user of the he/them pronouns.
Okay.
They were a 22-year-old student of Northern Kentucky University. They were an a fine arts major. They were slotted to graduate May 9th,
No.
May 8th. They had been missing for over a month.
Where is this?
Since February.
Kentucky?
In Kentucky. Yeah, Northern Kentucky University. They were found this past week near an industrial wooded area that's not easily accessible on foot. Their car was back in their apartment. Their cell phone was at their apartment. And the Covington Police Department has said there are no indications of foul play.
Bullshit.
So this person who'd been missing, this trans person, by the way, that's important to note, is that they are a trans female to male. They started using the he/them pronouns. The last that they had talked to anybody was their family. They were prepared to graduate May 8th with artwork to be featured in a queer edition of Cincinnati's art museums. They have an Art After Dark, whatever you call it. Exhibit. Yes, exhibit.
That's exciting.
On the day they went missing, there was terrible weather. There are people saying that, like, the police department saying that there's no indication of foul play is bullshit. Because...
Well, yeah, I clocked that real quick.
Right, and I think most everybody did. So there was...
Also, Kentucky.
Yeah, right. So there was bad weather. Their car was like at their apartment, but like a block away from their apartment. Their backpack was at the school. Their phone was inside their apartment. And they were in a place, they were found behind a crane in a wooded industrial area that's not easily accessible by foot.
And how far from there?
Like far.
Okay.
Like more like about a 30-minute journey on foot. Yeah. But no indication of foul play.
No foul play noted.
No foul play.
Bitch, have you watched an episode of SVU?
Right. Yeah. So sadly, after a month, and the police department didn't, like the investigators, police department, they're not even the ones that found them. It was an independent search team that had found them, and they had just found them this past week. Their family and friends have posted memories on a fundraiser that was set up to make an art scholarship foundation in their name to help other members of the community and get through art school. Friends have posted memories of them on the fundraiser, one stating how they were so kind it would make you feel so wanted and loved. And one of the last people of the friends that spoke with them said how when Murray Faust had walked up to them on one of the days, they were wearing a brand new dress that they were wearing, and how they complimented them for like 5 minutes on this dress and how good they looked and everything.
So they were more gender fluid?
No, their friend was wearing this dress. Yeah, okay. Murray was just complimenting them. Right. Yes. So there's an art scholarship foundation set up through there for them in their honor, in their name. Right now, there's no autopsy report that's come back yet. So until then, it's just kind of...
Why not? Are they doing one?
I would assume so, yeah.
Because I could see them like, well, there's no foul play. Blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, it's and there's a lot of the police department and the local community. Some of the local investigators are hinting that it was suicide, but I find that hard to believe when this person had plans to graduate on the 8th. They had an art exhibit coming up that they'd worked for. They'd worked all the way through all of this stuff. They were early in their transition too, like maybe a year or so in transition.
Yeah, it's
like so many of these indicators that weren't there. So.
I mean, you never know what someone's going on.
Absolutely. No, I get that.
Yeah,
behind closed doors is a whole different thing.
But also, you can't automatically just go straight to suicide without, whether there's foul play or not, you still need to do a full investigation.
100%.
Kentucky.
Covington. Anyways, so my other two stuff is really good, but I wanted to make note of that. So as we talked, a lot of hate crimes still on against trans people, a lot of violence and rhetoric right now in the world that we're living in. So to keep a lookout for that, stand up, speak out. So.
Stand up, speak out, reach out to those who you may know in the trans community who might need a little bit extra support.
Yeah.
Nowadays.
Especially in red states like Kentucky.
Or Idaho. Because the 2023 Idaho bathroom bill is now permanently law and in effect.
Yes.
So the 2023 bathroom bill has been going through litigation in the past couple of years. A student group at Boise High School, the Sexuality and Gender Alliance, sued the state to block the bill. And attorneys for the group and the state of Idaho recently agreed to dismiss the lawsuit in federal court last week. Now, the reason for dismissal is really freaking sad. The lawsuit was dropped, sadly, following the death of one of the plaintiffs in the other graduating high school.
Yeah, I saw that.
The plaintiff that passed away, sadly, was a trans student who died of suicide this past January. So the lawsuit against the bathroom ban were currently pending in the U.S. Court of Appeals for the Ninth Circuit and the U.S. District Court of Idaho. The law in question bans students from using bathrooms and locker rooms that do not match their gender assigned at birth, and also permits students to sue schools if they encounter a trans person in a public restroom or changing facility for a minimum fine of $5,000.
It's insane.
In their suit, the plaintiffs in the Sexuality and Gender Alliance argued that the law violated the 14th Amendment's Equal Protection Rights Clause because it allowed trans students from using facilities that match their gender identity. They also argued that the law violated Title IX, the federal statute prohibiting sex-based discrimination. The trans student who sadly took their own life stated the following in court filings. "It is scary having to look around before to see if anyone will see me going into the single-user restroom, as I worry about people gossiping and speculating about me being transgender," Jane Doe said. "I don't want people to know I am transgender without my consent, even students who might be friendly. For me, it is not a part of myself I talk about or that I feel is the most important part of my identity." In the latest U.S. Court District Judge David Nye wrote that the court, quote, "expresses its sincerest sympathies to Jane Doe's family." I'm sorry, but bull fucking shit.
Yeah, I saw that.
This student, whether or not they're still a student, but this former student, maybe, we don't know. Their identity is obviously kept anonymous and they're referred to as Jane Doe. But they literally took their own life because of this very bill and fears of being outed as a trans person. And the law still goes into effect.
Yeah.
And these type of laws are going to continue to go into effect. If this isn't like a fucking, hey, red flag moment, like they truly don't give a fuck.
Yeah. No, they don't.
They don't care and for the judge to be like, oh, we send our sincerest remorse. Bullshit.
And it's all performative, right? And it's all targeted towards, and it's, look, we say it was targeted towards trans people. All of these bills always, look at how they're wrote. They're wrote in a way that is targeted towards male to female transitioners.
Yeah.
There's never, it's always keep men out of women's sports, keep men out of women's bathrooms. But there are also female to male transitioners.
Right.
And it is one of those things that it's always, the way it's wrote is to be very selective. It's attacking one side, it's attacking the trans community, but it's also furthermore attacking one side of the trans community because it's these people, again, who don't understand. They want to make problems out of things that are not problems. No offense, but these trans people are not the ones that are going in there and raping kids. They're not going into places and molesting children or raping other people or anything like that. No, that's all these Christian nationalists that we've talked about.
Girl, you want me to go off again? I'll go off again. If you haven't watched last week's episode, girl, I went off.
But that's what I'm saying. And it's like, you keep passing these bills, targeting, and you're not helping your community in any other way. Idaho is not helping its people by passing this bill, by doing it. No offense, there's got to be 8 people that live in fucking Idaho? You know what I mean? Like, it's ridiculous when Idaho is mainly farmers who are now going bankrupt at a high rate as of early this spring because of tariffs, because of the fact that they can't get fertilizer and pesticides, and their crops are dying and they can't sell them, so they're sitting there dying. All of this stuff that's more important. But no, let's go ahead and pass this bathroom bill, especially after somebody has killed themselves because of how intense it was. And
well, yeah, the law was so egregious that it caused them to take their own life.
$5,000 fucking dollars for are we serious? $5,000? Get the fuck out of here. That's just ridiculous.
Yeah, it's fucked.
There's that trans organization. I'm sure that they've been helping a lot of Kansans move that need to help move and helping them settle in new places and find stuff. I'm sure with this all bullshit, they're going to step up and do the same thing with all the people in Idaho. And it sucks because people who live there and in these places, you should not have to move because the feeling of being unwelcome in a place, it's just absolutely ridiculous. IMO.
It's unfortunate, but there's plenty of trans organizations out there. Reach out to the Trans Lifeline, and we love, if you can, please donate to the Trans Lifeline. And you can also donate in somebody's honor. Yeah. So if there's somebody you know who you would like to donate in their honor, or even you could just donate and quote Jane Doe of Idaho. You could donate in that person's name, but The Trans Lifeline does a lot of work, also the Trevor Project and all the others. A lot of other LGBT plus organizations out there trying to support and fight back against some of these laws, especially the ACLU is doing a lot of great work to try and fight back against some of these discriminatory laws, really targeted towards the trans community in general. So
Yeah, we saw that with the Kansas stuff last week.
right. So now that this 2023 law is actually in effect in Idaho, maybe ACLU will step in and try and help. But unfortunately for whoever that person was that took their own life, it's too late.
What's that trans? Do you remember the Trans Liberty Operation Lifeboat? Operation Lifeboat through Trans Liberty.
Operation Lifeboat
That's
through
what it
Trans
was.
Liberty.
Yes, they're the ones that will. There's options and ways for them to help to get you. If you feel like you just fuck it, I gotta go, leave, get somewhere safe, be somewhere safe. Operation Lifeboat is there to help. So, all right, next, you want to move on?
Yep.
You want to move on to some happy stuff?
Happy, happy, happy.
Want to move on to old gays?
I like old gays.
I love old gays.
Are we old gays?
Not yet. I think
Okay.
we're middle-aged gays.
I was gonna ask, like, what's considered an old gay?
Yeah, I think we're middle-aged gays.
What would you consider an old gay?
Like 60, 65 in that range. Like you've been around, you've seen some shit.
Okay.
Yeah. We're in the shit right now.
I would consider an old gay like 55 plus.
Okay.
Or maybe 50.
Yeah, I'm more on the 60 side, but I digress. For this organization, it was founded it was founded by senior gays and older people.
Ooh, but now you're
And-
crossing in his territory of what's considered senior.
If you can pull Social Security, you're senior.
Has AARP reached out?
Yeah.
Girl, you senior.
AARP. So they are called the Chicago Prime Timers, which I love that name. They're made up of 230 queer seniors, and they were founded in 2001. And what they do is they organize social events, restaurant outings, happy hours, theater events, museum events, beach days, holiday parties, and etc. I was reading up on them, and they're such a cute organization. You only have to be 21 to join them, by the way. And you pay for the membership. It's a $30 fee if it's just you, or a $50 fee if it's two members of the same address and household.
Kinky.
I know, I just thought that was really good. Anyways, and in 2025, so last year, they were inducted into the Chicago LGBTQ Hall of Fame for their ongoing commitment to supporting and uplifting Chicago's queer elders and allies. Like I said earlier, if you're 21, you can join them. This year, they are celebrating 25 years as an organization, which I thought was incredible for a queer, especially an older queer organization that gets together. I thought this was really cool. So like I said, they organize a bunch of outings and stuff like that. So on their events page, they have a shit ton of stuff. They are always doing things, again, because they're retirees for the most part, and they get to just do whatever they live in every day as a Saturday, and I'm jealous of them. But I thought there's a couple of fun things here. Tuesday, June 16th, they are doing part of their men's book group. They are getting to go sit down with Greg Cope White.
Who's that?
He is the author of the Pink Marine, which is
That's what Boots is based off of.
Yeah, so they get to sit down with Greg Cope White
That's cool.
and go through the book and do like a meet and greet with him and everything like that. There's
neat.
still, if you're a part of the organization or you want to join and you live in Chicago or whatever, you can still join. Registration is still open for you to participate as part of that. June 28th is the Chicago Pride. So they're going to be in the Chicago Pride Parade.
I feel like such a bad gay. I still have never been to like
Pride. We can do Pride.
Besides P-Town.
We can go to Pride. Then you've been to a Pride. Chicago Pride Timers will have a trolley as they normally do in the parade. If you want to join them, there's a small fee that will allow you to join them, and you can walk with them or ride in the trolley. That's as soon as you go to their events page or just their homepage, it's like right there. It's like a featured event. You can sign up and go there. Just look out for them. They have banners and stuff, and it says CPT, and it has a little Pride banner on the right of it. So that is their acronym, and they have a ton of events going on, again, in Chicago. They do a lot of different things. It'll help a lot of different organizations, too. They do a lot of volunteering and philanthropic things and events. But a bunch of old gays is out there just living their best life.
Good for them.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool.
Get the house down Boots.
If we lived in Chicago, we would join. I thought it'd be really fun.
I think it'd be fun.
Yeah.
Sounds like they have some cool.
They have so many events. They're doing
events. That's also a great way to like build community and meet other gays and
absolutely.
people.
And they're doing like a cabaret. They're doing a musical. They have musicals that they go to, like different concerts, book signings, museums. Their events page every week, it looks like it just has something going on. I love something like that.
Work, bitch.
Yeah, and you could be a part of it. If you're an ally, you can be a part of their group.
Slay the house.
Yeah.
Slay the house down Boots. I just want to give a quick shout out to one of my favorite countries in the entire world. I love you so fucking much. Any guesses?
Iceland.
I love you, Iceland. That's not fair. You cheated.
Why did I cheat? Because I went with you and I hear about it every day?
No, you saw my articles.
I didn't. I don't.
JK, love you, Iceland.
No,
I want to
actually.
give a big shout out to Iceland. I love you so much. But the big thing or reason why we're shouting out Iceland this year is because Iceland has again ranked top of the 2026 map of most trans-friendly countries in Europe. So a new 2026 ranking of the most trans-friendly countries in Europe and Central Asia has been released, and Iceland has come out on top. The annual Trans Rights Index and Map was released in partnership with the ILGA Europe's Rainbow Map and is co-funded by the European Union. The index scores countries in a number of different indicator categories, including legal gender recognition, asylum, hate crime/hate speech, non-discrimination, health, and family. Iceland scored, any guesses? So 32 is your max points.
32? I'm going to say, if they're the top, 30 and a half.
Close. Iceland scored 30 out of 32.
Oh, I was going to say 30. I should have said 30.
There are some half points given. Anyway, so Iceland scored 30 out of 32 points with full marks in all but 2 categories. 1 point was deducted in both asylum, policy, and other measures, and another was deducted for hate crimes/hate speech, policy tackling hatred. The country now has scored the same for 3 years in a row and has improved by 18 points since the index was first initiated in 2019.
Wow, that's impressive.
Yeah, way to go, Iceland. Y'all do that thing, girl.
Not even a full decade, and they're like,
no, girl, we got this.
They said somebody didn't like us, and they're fixing it, except their policy on hate speech.
Unfortunately, we can't win.
I mean,
them all,
speech is
apparently.
speech. It's really hard to.
It's hard to, yeah. In second place was, any guesses? We're talking Europe and Central Asia.
Europe and Central Asia, second place behind Iceland. I want to say probably something like.
Think small.
Yeah, I want to say like Amsterdam.
That's not a country.
No, I know, but like the Netherlands.
No. Smaller.
Smaller?
Malta.
Really?
Second place was Malta with 28 out of 30 indicators met, out of 32 indicators met.
Okay.
And achieved full marks in the legal gender recognition. Hate crime speech, health and family categories. Spain comes in at number 3 with 27.18 out of 32 and full marks in the asylum and health categories. Notably, Austria, Germany, Iceland, and Malta are the only countries to fully meet the criteria for non-binary recognition.
Interesting. Okay.
Right?
So, well, Delta just started flights to Malta.
They did. I was going to give you that clue, but I know I would have given it away.
So, okay, it looks like I know where we're going to be booking next.
So, we're going to flip the script. Any guesses on who's at the other end of the ranking?
United States.
No, honey, this is only Europe and Central Asia.
I know. France is pretty bad for...
Not at the very bottom.
But they're not at the very bottom?
No.
China.
There are...
Is that Central Asia? Or is that Eastern Asia?
No.
I don't know who. Who's the last one?
Russia.
Well, no shit. Okay.
At the end of the ranking is Russia, which unsurprisingly met 0 out of the 32 indicators.
You know what? I am shocked. I am shooketh and shocked that Russia, with all their propaganda against queer people,
There are some others, though, that scored very low, including Tajikistan. It's all the stands. Tajikistan, Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan, Georgia, and Azerbaijan all scored only 1 point, while Romania, Armenia, Kazakhstan, and Kyrgyzstan scored 2 points out of 32. So don't go to those countries.
Yeah.
Not that I don't think any of us have them high on our list.
Right.
But I wouldn't recommend going there, especially if you're trans. And then, do you have any guesses on where the United Kingdom fell on the 32 indicators, where they fell point-wise?
Point-wise, I would say probably higher 20s. No? Like 22, 23?
They're strict with their ranking. And I do recommend everybody check it out. I'll put a link down in the description below where you can check out the Trans Right Index and Map.
Well, yeah, I love that they're strict with it. Well, yeah, I guess the UK is kind of shit with trans. It is trans. I'm thinking like queer encompassing as a whole.
You know, this is strictly trans rights.
Yeah, they're probably, I take that back. They're probably like a 15.
That was close.
Yeah.
They're 13.5 out of
Yeah.
32 indicators.
That makes
And
sense.
they scored 0 points in the asylum, and they scored 0 points in health and family categories.
That makes sense. Yeah, I completely get that because they're kind of shit with trans anything in the UK.
But it was kind of interesting to scroll through that map and kind of see exactly where other countries led. This
The
was higher
Netherlands,
up.
yeah.
A lot of the Nordic countries were higher up on there as well. But
Which is so funny to think of because thousands of years ago, all these Vikings and everything coming through, and now you have these, they're like such queer-friendly places. I'm just saying.
I would live in Norway. I would live in Sweden.
I could do Norway. I can't do Iceland.
I love Iceland so much. It's my
but
favorite place I've ever been in the entire
I would
world.
do Norway if that was a thing.
I don't even care that it was cold. I loved everything about Iceland. So if you haven't been to Iceland, 10 out of 10 would recommend. And also Iceland being so trans accepting, I would, if there's any trans people who are kind of looking for someplace to relocate, like the girl in the WoW Presents Plus series following Club Cumming, she wanted to go to the University of Iceland.
Mm-hmm.
Great choice, girl. You're going to go to a really trans-friendly country. Number one in the Europes. So, yeah, shout out to Iceland. I love you, girl, and I can't wait to go back and maybe buy a house there one day with my husband and not tell him. You're coming. I'm going to kidnap my husband to Iceland.
Yeah, okay.
How fun would that be?
For like a week?
No, longer than that. We were there longer last time we went to Iceland. We were there longer than a week.
We were there 10 days.
And remember those cinnamon rolls?
Yeah, the cinnamon rolls were really good.
See, we could go to Iceland for the cinnamon roll and the hot dogs.
I would stop in Iceland for cinnamon rolls and hot dogs, and then on my way to my house in Portugal.
The hot springs, the people.
No, it was great, but I can't. I don't want to live in a place that I'm always fucking cold in.
It's not always cold.
Okay, for 10 months out of the year. Yes.
9.
No different than here. All right.
Anyway, shout out to you, Iceland. Love you, girl.
Good job. All right, my last one here is I kind of wanted to do something because FIFA World Cup coming to the States. I thought it was really good. Right. Well, with them coming to the U.S., I think maybe we could see instead of like heated rivalry with like hockey, maybe it's going to be a soccer one next because they're.
Did you see the Straight Heated Rivalry came out?
No, I don't even understand what that means.
It's on Amazon. It's like a hockey type show. And it's apparently huge, and everybody's freaking out about it because it's really good.
Is that the one where the guy from the Pit?
It's the one from the Pit that we saw, Kelly Clarkson. That show apparently is doing really, really good.
Yeah, I have heard that's really good.
For season 2. And you know whose song was featured in like the really sexy scene and now has blown up because of that show?
Who?
G-Flip. Set Your Bed on Fire. Hell yeah. So G-Flip, they're great, and they're benefiting off that show. And now I kind of want to watch it.
Okay, we can watch it.
But yeah, I just thought about that the other day. I was like, when you talked about like heated rivalry, I was like, well, there's a straight version of heated rivalry apparently.
Yeah, I remember that now.
It's not like the full same thing, but it is like straight relationship-ish, but it's more college-based.
Yeah, I remember that from the show. All right.
Anyway, sorry.
Anyways, okay, so Ignacio Lago?
Nacho.
That's his nickname. He came out as gay last month, has now signed for an extension as a forward through December 2027 with Club
You can do
Atletico Colón.
Atletico.
There's no H in it.
Atletico.
Yeah.
Colón.
Mm-hmm. It's an Argentinian team. He is the top scorer in the Prima Nacional with 6 goals.
Is he playing for Team Argentina?
I don't know if he's playing for Team Argentina.
Because you know where Team Argentina is staying.
Yeah, here in KC.
Down on the Origin Hotel on the Riverfront.
Yeah, so
it's already closed off and fenced off and said they come into town this weekend.
Yeah.
Hi, Argentina.
That's why the Kansas City started dyeing all the stuff orange. All the fountains they're dyeing orange.
That's for the Netherlands, sweetheart.
Well, they're dyeing all of them orange. But...
The Netherlands also brought some buses.
Okay.
Like some double-decker Netherlands.
Yeah.
And there's also like, they're saying like the Netherlands, I guess when they do their matches, they do like this big like march through town to the stadium and they're like, we're going to do it. And Kansas City police were like, no, you're not. And they're like, yeah, we are.
Yeah, you're not going to stop them.
I don't know how that's going to go. But
okay. Well, it'll be interesting.
Anyway.
I'm here in a couple weeks. But his coming out journey kind of, I felt like was a bit of a surprise for him, which sounds weird to say. So he had never officially come out as gay. He's always just been very quiet about his social life, like his private life, anything like that.
How old is this person?
He's 23.
Oh, he's a baby.
He is young. But during a radio interview after coming back from an injury, his boyfriend had got together and put clips from grandparents and others to wish him luck post-recovery and getting back into the sport of soccer. And then his boyfriend also recorded something and had a message for him. And through the message, it said something about how proud he was of him and how much he loves him and he loves being with him and all this stuff. And so it was kind of, it was meant to be sweet. And Nacho took it as a very sweet kind of moment and everything, saying how much his boyfriend is always so thoughtful, and that's the kind of gestures that he does and everything like that. So I think he took it as a well thing, but it definitely had a little bit of backlash because a lot of people, especially in the soccer community, a lot of people were like, "Oh shit, you're gay."
How long have they been? Does it say how long
It
they've
doesn't
been
say.
together?
I looked. It does not say how long they've been together. They've been together. The way he talks about the relationship is like they've been together for a couple of years.
Okay.
Yeah, like 3 or 4 years.
Like
so,
college sweethearts?
yeah, like college, met in college or through that era. Yeah, but honestly, a lot of people obviously talking about it, bringing it to the forefront. There hasn't been that much backlash, which I thought was amazing, especially since he's one of the first openly gay Argentinian soccer players.
Slay the house down, boots
Yeah.
mama.
Fans,
Is he cute?
He's very cute. Yeah, he's super cute. Fans, friends, politicians, and everybody else all had praise for him.
Politicians?
Some of the politicians are even saying how amazing it is and how much they love him and everything. I think a lot of that has to do with him being like, he's like, when he got back after that radio interview and after his injury, the first game that he played, he got out and scored a goal within like 5 minutes.
So he's like the Messi of Argentina?
I think, yeah, probably. It's supposed to be really good. Coach Ezekiel Midran said, Ezekiel says that we support him, and continue to, and comforted him during this time. I love the way he says, we've completely normalized the situation.
I hate that word.
I know. I hate the wording of that. I get where he's trying to come from. Like, everybody on the team is just like, whatever, you're gay, move on. That's how they've done it. But the way he worded that was
right.
So
like,
funny.
I get it. And that's kind of like what they did. He did Revelry too, especially in like, I'm on book 4.
Yeah, you're on Common Goal.
Yeah. And like, there's a point when like they kind of, in a way, phrase it that way. And you're kind of like,
yeah, we've normalized it. It's like, no, it's always been normal. It's just not been
accepted.
So it's just
there's a difference between normalizing something and accepting something.
Correct. And I think, but it was just funny the way he said it. But it's obviously in meant of support and everything like that.
I think also maybe there's a little bit of a translation language barrier.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. I thought it was really cute. First Argentinian gay player outed. Like I said, I think his journey was a little bit more like forced outing into the public than he wanted to be, because he shut, like when it happened after that radio interview, he private blocked all of his Instagram, all of his socials, everything like that.
He was scared?
Well, I think what they were doing is, I think he was like talking with like his agent and with everybody else and trying to figure out like what's the next step. And then he has unlocked everything and now also posted a ton of things with him and his boyfriend.
I get it. You kind of want to just be like, well, let's pump the brakes, get everything.
Let's see the reaction that they're going to get. And because he was also in contract signing at the time. And
he was like, do I need to move to Iceland?
Yeah, that's exactly what he was thinking.
Iceland has a good soccer team.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Iceland is really big in soccer and basketball.
That's random. That seems
I
random.
know, but they're big in basketball because like it's inside and it's cold.
Yeah, true.
But yeah, they got like big basketball teams, especially like Grindavik was doing really good last year. Anyway.
Wow, who knew you were such an Icelandic basketball fan?
I only know because Grindavik is where that was the town that was closed during the volcano.
Yeah.
And so like there was all this support rallying behind Grindavik, and then they came back and like did really good. And
oh, nice. Good for them.
So also Grindavik is opening back up. If you're going to Iceland, check out Grindavik.
Ooh.
Okay, so remember back in the day on episode like, I don't know, mid-aughts, maybe early teens.
Okay.
No, we're only on 15, so like mid to late aughts.
Okay.
We talked about Pattie Gonia.
Yeah, Patagonia.
Girl, we're back.
Yeah, we went. Oh, God. Okay.
We are full circle because Pattie Gonia has blown up in the past 24 hours.
Yes.
When we first covered Pattie Gonia and their lawsuit with Patagonia, we kind of just shared it how it was.
Yep.
And ever since the lawsuit was filed in January of 2026, Pattie has stayed pretty silent about it, didn't address it. Well, girl, in the past 24 hours, did Pattie Gonia say, bitch, fuck off. And she came out a-swinging.
Good.
And she did so rightfully so we're going to recap, and come back into the Patagonia situation is Pattie Gonia versus Patagonia.
All right, everybody, grab your boards with your string.
Everybody pay attention here. Now, for clarification purposes, Pattie Gonia will now forward be noted or be referred to as just Pattie.
I think that's a really good idea. I like
Thank
that
you.
idea.
So Pattie Gonia will be referred to as Patty, and Patagonia can go fuck themselves as the company Patagonia. So the story has blown up in the last 24 hours as Patagonia has spoken out regarding the lawsuit, and now the girls, gays, and theys have some words for Patagonia, the company.
Got it.
You can include me in the girls, gays, and theys category.
We see it. We're feeling it.
So does the fucking internet, because woof. So, in the past, we covered the story. I mentioned how the company is currently claiming that they're only suing Patagonia for $1.
Right.
We went over that when we went over the lawsuit and all that. We said, oh, it's $1. You're kind of like, oh, okay, whatever. We're trying to be amicable. Turns out, fuck no. So, Patagonia, or Patty, came out and said, according to Patty, the company is actually trying to take away her name permanently and threaten them with more than $1 million in legal fees.
Okay, yeah.
So, Patty goes on to state, this is not a brand conflict. This is a corporation trying to erase an activist. This is how corporations bully individuals who cannot match their resources. This would not only take away my activism, but it would also take away my career and the livelihoods of the team that I employ. This is a betrayal of Patagonia's core mission. If they're, quote, in business to save the home planet, quote, end quotes, why are they suing a climate activist? Over the last 4 months since the lawsuit was filed, I have stayed silent, courteous, and worked every channel I had to resolve this without going to court. Like I said, she's been quiet,
Classy.
doing her thing. She's a classy queen. So then they go on to state that unfortunately, as of literally 24 hours ago, they can no longer stay silent.
Fair.
They are, quote, fighting and inviting you, aka us, the listener and the supporter of Patagonia, to join her in her call to action and stating, Patagonia, drop the lawsuit.
I love it.
Patagonia, drop the lawsuit, bitch. Enough is enough.
Fair.
So, Patty started her drag career in 2018, putting on high heels and going on a backpacking trip and creating her persona based on the region in South America called
Patagonia.
Correct. It's a region in South America called Patagonia. It's not just the brand,
Yeah.
Patagonia. Right. So, Patty goes on to state that she makes it a point to reiterate that the name of Patagonia, the region, predates both her, the drag queen, and the company Patagonia by more than 500 years.
She makes a good point.
Right?
That's crazy.
Patty has built a community of more than 3 million people. They've also built a nonprofit that teaches allyship in the outdoors, hired more than 600 advocates throughout the years and artists, toured drag shows nationwide, all while advocating for climate solutions. Together through it all, Patty has raised more than $3.7 million for nonprofits.
Damn.
So, this also brings into question the trademark infringement, which we also talked about back in the day. In regards to the trademark infringement, Patty now is, obviously she's coming out and speaking, so we can address it. Patty states, I have never used their logo, font, or anything from their brand on our merch or our website. Instead, the lawsuit cherry picks a few examples of playful parody and fan art to try and spin those into some kind of cast use of their logo. Drag is built on parody, puns, and jokes.
Well, it's also protected. I can't remember what lawsuit it was. It was like probably 30, 40 years ago, but somebody tried to sue somebody over like being a parody version, using a parody version of whatever. And I think it was a Supreme Court. I think it went all the way to the Supreme Court. I'd have to find the case, but it was essentially come down. That's like, it's expression in art.
Law student. Patty goes on to state, though, that they state that they are willing to never parody their logo willing to never parody their logo ever again. So, like, we don't have to parody your logo no more. Let's just drop this and move on. Well, that didn't go over. So the last time we visited the topic, we also talked about the previous agreement between Patty and Patagonia. Remember that?
Yes.
So there was an agreement that I talked about, and I thought maybe I kind of led the listeners, and also apparently a lot of the internet thought the same thing, that it was maybe more formal than it truly was. Because according to Patty, there was no formal agreement. It was in principle that Patagonia had asked them to follow certain terms in relation to a brand collaboration in 2022, in which she did, but in no way was there a broad agreement about her future. So they specifically reached out to her regarding a collaboration with some brand back in
Yeah.
2022, and they talked about like that specific whatever it was and agreed to move forward. But so there was no like formal agreement though about like moving forward.
Yeah.
And so that didn't really affect like future Patagonia.
Sure,
It was
right.
really referencing only that one 2022 collaboration.
It looks like it to me. It sounds like the company Patagonia is very upset that Patty here is skyrocketing in fame and whatever, because she is. I mean, she did that whole truck and heel and drag for that climate thing. Remember when she, I think, through California or something like that?
Yeah, she did a whole hike through California and raised almost $2 million in just that
Right.
one hike. But
So
then
it's like they're not a part of
also,
that, and I think that's like they're like, oh, we're not a part of it, but she's using it.
Patty is currently also on a tour all over America. Unfortunately, she's not coming to Kansas City or where we going.
Yeah.
But she is on a fairly large national tour right now, and she's selling out and doing absolutely incredible on her tour.
And this is probably helping that too, to be honest with you.
Probably.
Right.
So Patty went on to file her own trademark application recently.
Okay.
And a lot of people are saying, oh, it's convenient that this trademark application was filed right a lot of people are trying to argue that it's retaliatory against Patagonia because the trademark was filed for her. But Patagonia goes on to state that this is in no way related to the discord between them and Patagonia, the company. This was done because of what happened to Lexi Love.
Right.
Do you know what happened to Lexi Love?
Yes.
So yeah, Lexi Love, remember her from Drag Race 2 seasons ago?
2 seasons ago. Yeah. Oh God, that.
So Lexi Love was forced to fight for her alias against an AI artist.
Yes.
And at the end, she obviously didn't have the financial abilities, and she was also going through some personal tribulations.
Yeah, that's
Is
the
that the
word.
right word?
Yeah.
So she ended up having her name and likeliness taken from her, leading her to lose her bookings, social media accounts, and her music was taken off streaming platforms.
Yeah.
So in response to that, Patty filed a trademark application to protect her brand.
Yeah.
Again, had
When you
nothing to do with Patagonia, the company. She's solely trying to protect her brand.
Right.
And
You need to start. Well, when these queens start getting so big, they need to just protect themselves.
well, it's that. But then also, look where we are in 2026 in Trump's America. Patty goes on to acknowledge that the timing of the lawsuit in relation to the current political climate, in relation to attacks on the environment and LGBTQIA plus community by the Trump administration, seems wildly convenient for the company Patagonia to piggyback on. Basically saying like, well, Patagonia is going to try and jump on the bandwagon of everybody hating on the LGBTQIA plus community from the Trump administration and use this as kind of a, hey, we're going to try and get this lawsuit done and try and maybe keep it a little bit under wraps because of the current political climate. And that's also why finally Patty came out and is making it public. And now it is blown up all over the World Wide Web. All the gays, girls, days, and straight allies are like, you're not going to fuck with Patagonia.
Right.
Not our queen, Patty.
Yeah.
She literally stands and is fighting for the climate and is fighting for planet Earth, of which Patagonia, the company, is literally like their fucking mission statement. And that's who you want to sue? Like, it
doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't make any sense. And a lot of people are also frustrated, especially Nikki Doll came out, like, all in defense of Pattie Gonia and saying, like, bringing up like Jan Sport. So when Jan Sport competed in Drag Race, she had to only go by the name Jan to not inhibit trademark infringement on Jan Sport, the backpack company.
Right.
And then what happened after all of that was done? What did Jan Sport do?
I don't know.
Jan Sport
Trademarked herself, right?
No.
Oh.
Jan Sport partnered with Jan Sport, the drag queen, and put out a whole line of backpacks from Jan Sport and sold out within 24 hours or something ridiculous. And that shows how, like,
Queer money.
how a brand and a drag queen who parodies off of said brand can partner together and make like a positive outcome out of something like that. Also, like Brita Filter, when she was on Drag Race, she went by Brita because the producers and production said you can't use Brita Filter.
Right, because of Brita Filters.
Correct. I don't know whatever came out after that. And
she's selling clean ass water now.
I mean, but it's things like that to go to show, like, if Patagonia came out, the company, and said, hey, we're going to release like a collab and do like this big pride collection with Patty and donate 70% of our proceeds towards climate activism and global warming or whatever whatever it could be.
Sure.
Like they could make a shit ton of money.
Yeah.
In partnership off of that and be this quote unquote brand that they claim to be of supporting the environment and supporting Earth and blah, 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 blah. But instead we're going to sue Patty.
We're going to sue a drag queen. Yeah.
And whether or not it's for $1, but this comes to show that, I mean, Patagonia itself as a company is a multi-billion-dollar company.
Right.
So, I mean, throwing money at this to them is nothing.
Yeah.
But when you're a performer with a team supporting you and you have, people's livelihoods are following you and your production and your tour and what you're doing. And now all of a sudden you're trying to have to also support a lawsuit from a multi-billion-dollar company. Like, in what shit? They don't have the funds for that.
Yeah.
And so they're literally just trying to eat away at her based financially to the point that whether it's a $1 lawsuit or not, she's just not going to have the funds to fight it. And that's why it's like, okay,
corporations.
Fine. Well, let's go, bitch. And let's bring it to the public. And now there's a lot of people saying, hey, you know what? Fuck you, Patagonia. And here at the Everyone's a Little Queer podcast, I would just like everybody to know that the Everyone's a Little Queer podcast fully stands behind Pattie Gonia, and we will not be purchasing anything from Patagonia, the company, until they drop the lawsuit against Pattie Gonia. Meanwhile, also, Patagonia as a company, your shit is doggone fucking expensive, and I wasn't going to buy it anyway.
Yeah.
So,
well, it's like when we were in Canada and we went to that store, a hat was a beanie was $250.
The beanie was like, it wasn't that much, but it was still dumb expensive. That was also Canadian dollars. But even still, like the pricing of shit in that store was absurdly expensive.
Yeah.
That we literally walked in around and we're back out.
The best thing that was in that store was the recommendation on the little chalkboard for where to find lunch.
The taco place.
Yeah.
Yeah. Down the road.
Down the road.
But like, honestly, like, and I will say Patagonia has come out and said like, don't throw any hate towards like the stores themselves or the employees that work at those stores. It's not their fault that
it's the
their
corporation. Yeah.
Correct. So,
they're just making money too.
Yeah, we fully support like don't shop at Patagonia, but that doesn't mean we need to like walk into Patagonia stores and cuss out the employees.
No,
it's not their fault.
That's not their fault.
They're not behind it all. So
absolutely.
It's unfortunate, but at the end of the day, it's time that we all come out and start speaking up on behalf of Pattie because, like I said, Pattie has raised over $3 million for climate activism.
It's great. Yeah. I love it.
Also, Pattie loves to shove it to Donald Trump. So
yeah. As we all do.
Well,
I think that's it. I don't have anything. You anything else?
I do want to quickly shout out that our lineup for June has been announced. So go check out our Pride Month episodes coming out for Everyone's a Little Queer.
They're going to be good. We have like we have a very diverse lineup through June.
It is a diverse lineup.
I'm very excited about it. Yeah, we hop across the pond. We come back. We have an actor on there. We have fathers on there. We have any and everybody. We have a politician, local politics. You know how much we love that. So we kind of go up through there. Our most recent episode with Noah May is out right now. Go listen to that. Great episode. Listen with caution on that one, just because it does have a lot of talk with mental health and everything there. Again, we talk about mental health and suicide stuff here on the podcast quite openly. And because if you talk about it, it's out in the open. It's not taboo. So we talk about stuff like that. But good lineup.
Pride Month is coming, y'all. Enjoy Pride Month. Be prideful. Be gay. Be queer. Enjoy Pride Month, especially in these kind of unfortunate times that we're living in. Take this time to really embrace this month and be with your community and build each other up.
And be safe.
Be safe.
If you're not in a safe place to be visible, don't be visible. Do little things if you want to. Listen, find community, find where you're at. It's Pride Month. It's here to celebrate you and celebrate who you are.
With that, thanks everybody for listening. Everyone's a Little Queer, currently queer. If you're not already, please go ahead, click that like button, click that subscribe button, follow us on all our social medias. It all helps us continue to grow here at the Everyone's a Little Queer podcast.
Reach more queer people.
We want to share more stories and help influence others and inspire others to live their queer, authentic selves. So thanks everybody for listening to this week's episode of Currently Queer. We will see you next time. Bye!